Coming up today on Good Morning BU, the Jenga Towers open for business. BU correspondent Akua Duvall gets students' opinions on the new data science building.
BU track launches off. I stopped by the BU Track and Tennis Center to investigate the legend of the launchpad.
Governor Healey hitting her stride. A month into her term, we talked to experts and organizers to see how they feel about the new administration so far.
And a community fixture is back open on Comm Ave. Chloe Adams stops by Sunset Cantina to see life under new ownership.
Live from Studio West in the College of Communication, Good Morning BU starts right now. Hello and welcome to Good Morning BU. I'm Sydney Toff.
And I'm Alex Dowd. Here are this week's top stories. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman is in the hospital after he checked himself in. Senator Fetterman is receiving treatment for clinical depression at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Maryland. The freshman congressman, chief of staff, addressed his intake on Thursday in a statement, writing, quote, "While John has experienced depression on and off throughout his life, it only became severe in recent weeks."
The Republican presidential primary is taking shape as someone has now risen to challenge Donald Trump in the 2024 race. Former South Carolina governor and ambassador to the United Nations under the Trump administration, Nikki Haley, announced her candidacy Tuesday. As an Indian American, she's the first woman of color fighting for the Republican nomination. Haley's first official campaign ad emphasized the importance of unity in America.
I was different. But my mom would always say your job is not to focus on the differences, but the similarities. And my parents reminded me and my siblings every day how blessed we were to live in America.
She backed classic Republican stances, criticizing President Biden and progressive Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, while also making it clear that she was different from the mainstream Republican candidate. Only a few other Republicans have hinted at a 2024 run, including former Vice President Mike Pence and Trump's Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. No Democrats have announced that they're running yet.
On Wednesday, the City Council voted 7-5 to replace the current school committee, which will no longer give the mayor access to appoint new members. In addition, the council approved a notion to empower student members of the school committees to use their voices and vote. This comes just days after Mayor Michelle Wu said on Boston Public Radio that she would not be in favor of such a move.
I have never been supportive of an elected school committee. I ran for this job because I want to make a difference in the schools. I want to have accountability and responsibility to be able to make the changes that we need. We need to have a focus on stabilizing and getting our school facilities up to date and mental health supports and some of the academic changes that we're making. And so I'm not supportive of changing the governance structure at this time.
Boston University police are investigating an alleged suicide after a man jumped to his death from the 26th floor of Student Village 2 on Wednesday evening. Police say that the 33-year-old Cambridge man was not affiliated with the university, and they're investigating how the building was involved. The man has not been identified pending notification of his family. Counselors were available yesterday in Stuvie to students who witnessed the incident. Administration officials are also encouraging students to reach out to behavioral medicine if they need any additional help or counseling. If you or someone you know is struggling with their mental health, you can contact the National Suicide and Crisis Hotline by dialing 988. You can also reach crisis counselors at Boston University by dialing 617-353-7277. That's 617-353-7277. We'll be back with more campus news after this break.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Hey, Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey, guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Welcome back. After about 2 years of waiting with bated breath, BU students were finally treated to a fully open data science center this semester. The building, affectionately referred to as the Jenga Tower by students, is the latest installation on BU's growing campus. A little under a month after classes started, we wanted to see how students, faculty, and staff were feeling about the big new tower in the middle of campus. Aku Duvall has more.
BU's long-awaited Center for Computing and Data Science building finally opened this January after 3 years of construction. The 19-story building is not only BU's largest building, but also its most environmental friendly, as it was built 100% fossil fuel free in order to meet the goals of BU's Climate Action Plan. Its unique stacked design makes it stand out compared to other buildings on campus and has even caused the structure to be given nicknames such as the Jenga building and the stack of books.
I think it's great. I mean, it's a beautiful building. It serves for a lot of students, but also I think it's great for the city. I mean, like, it's got a lot of recognition for the city.
It's definitely like the new GSU too. Like a lot of people, we really needed more common areas like that.
Despite the great anticipation for the past few years, the building's striking presence on campus has caused mixed reactions throughout the BU community.
I just think that money could have been put towards better things. I think the humanities buildings really need that money more.
Okay, the building is pretty, but like it's not homogeneous at all with like all the great buildings we have. And I feel like they should have invested on our dorms instead of like investing on a new building.
The interior of the building is home to classes in the Faculty of Computing and Data Sciences, Mathematics and Statistics Department, Computer Science programs, the Learning Lab Spark, and even home to a new cafe named Saxby's.
Whether you believe the building adds a positive or negative addition to campus, if you're looking for a new place to study, hang out with friends, or just grab a cup of coffee, then branch out to the Computing and Data Science Center. Reporting from Mars Plaza, I'm Akua Deval for GMBU.
Thanks, Akua. BUPD is warning the community over a series of scams targeting BU students. Police sent out a notice Monday night warning of potential scams seeking money or financial information from students. These emails show up in inboxes marked urgent or offering job opportunities with financial compensation. Later on Wednesday, police also warned of sexual extortion scams in BU today. Officials warned that multiple students were targeted in what they say is a growing epidemic across the country. BU Police Lieutenant Daniel Healey says that there is nothing to be ashamed of if you get caught up in the scam.
Anyone can fall victim to this. Anybody can fall victim to it. It's very easy because these folks they're preying on our needs and our wants and our fears. And what I think the best practice is to be suspicious.
In addition to staying on guard, Healey says students should be very careful about what they share with people online and always be prepared to do your own research on a job opportunity or person. If you do get caught up in a scam, Healey says be ready to change up passwords and get in contact with local law enforcement.
BU Sustainability is starting a new composting pilot program in several locations around campus. Impacted students will be provided with a separate composting bin where they can put their coffee grounds, uneaten pizza crusts, and any other food waste that they have around the house. The program will affect around 700 students across 3 buildings, including the Medical Student Residency, 14 Buswell Street, and the first few floors of Stuvie 1. This is the latest in a handful of other attempts to create a composting program at BU, and it will last through the end of the semester before being evaluated for broader use. Sarah Healey, a BU Sustainability Zero Waste Coordinator, says that the program is meant to target deficiencies in BU's existing composting goals.
So in our zero waste plan, we've identified that about 40% of our waste stream is food waste. And this is after taking out all of the food waste we're already collecting. So we're really working to expand access to that so that we can capture this small level generation that's really making a big impact.
The Patriots are raising ticket prices for the first time in 15 years. Team representatives announced the hike Wednesday in preparation for the 2023 NFL season. Patriots owner Robert Kraft started a $225 renovation on Gillette Stadium last year. The team is offering new parking prices to ease pain from the new ticket costs. Season parking passes on the east side dropped from $80 per game to $25 passes for the west side are now free. The Pats are also offering $50 gift cards to fans who register to park in their delayed release lots and agree to leave the game at least 75 minutes after it ends. They say they hope this fixes traffic congestion for fans leaving games. The 2023 season begins in September. The Patriots will release their official schedule in May.
And a month into Maura Healey's term, we spoke with experts and organizers to get thoughts on the new administration so far. Sophia Falbo has more.
To all of you, and to all of you out there, with the help of so many, we made history, didn't we? We made history!
Maura Healey was sworn in as governor on January 5th. With a little over a month in office, she has already enacted change for the Massachusetts public. BU College Democrat Noah Lenkin and BU College Republican Declan Donahue said they both feel Governor Healey's responses to climate change have been positive thus far.
I would say for me the biggest thing that she's done is appointing a climate change chief. Climate change has always been a big issue for me, and it's really inspiring to see her take on that pivotal issue. She's also committed to family tax reform, which is very inspiring as well.
I'm curious to see the direction she'll take in climate, whether it will be a focus on innovation or a focus on restrictions and regulation. Personally, I would prefer the former, but we'll see what action she takes. I do think it's fair to give all new executives some sort of grace period after being elected, so I don't think it's fair really to cascade decisions she may have made that I may not like, so we'll see the way that they shape up.
Katie Lannon, who covers the State House for GMBH News, said she's pleased with the steps Governor Healey has taken towards setting the tone for her administration and is eager to see future development of the decisions she's already made.
She has created a climate chief to really elevate issues of climate change and preparedness. She's taking steps to establish a dedicated housing secretariat in her office. So it's really been those kind of foundation setting actions that she's taken so far.
It will be interesting to see how much more Governor Healey will accomplish within the beginning of her term. I'm Sophia Falbo for BU TV 10.
Thanks, Sophia. Coming up next, Lainey Broussard checks in with the College of General Studies Dean Natalie McKnight to speak about the ongoing search for a new Dean of Students. Stay tuned.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Welcome back. Boston University is looking for a new Dean of Students. Just under 8 months since the departure of former Dean Kenneth Elmore, the university's Dean of Students Search Committee is working behind the scenes to find his replacement. Lainey Broussard sat down with the College of General Studies Dean Natalie McKnight to discuss strategies for finding a new face of BU.
Today, I'm joined by Natalie McKnight, the Dean of the College of General Studies at Boston University, who also serves as the chair for the Dean of Student Search Committee. Thank you for joining us today.
Sure, thank you. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely. So let's get right into it. Last spring, plans to start up a national search to recruit our new Dean of Students for Boston University was announced to all students. As a part of this search, a committee that you agreed to chair was also started up. So what has the process been like to look for the new Dean of Students?
We've involved a lot of different parts of the campus in the process. I think, as you know, over the fall, we conducted a lot of listening sessions with undergraduates, graduates, staff, Dean of Student staff, before we even posted the ad, because we wanted to develop a really full job description that really reflected what the community wanted in a new Dean of Students. And in addition to that, I reached out to various student groups, including Executive Committee and Student Government and some others, to meet with them to get a sense from them in particular what they would think of as important in a new Dean of Students. So from all of those listening sessions, kind of the public ones and then the more private ones, we created a job ad, job description, posted it, and January 31st was the deadline for applications. Fortunately, we have a very good, robust applicant pool.
And speaking of student feedback, how has student feedback informed the committee's decision on choosing the right candidate for this job?
Yeah, it's been really helpful. A lot of things you would expect and some things that you might not expect. Of course, students want to see somebody who's approachable and visible. And one of the themes that has come out, because we did listening sessions with graduate students too, is I think graduate students feel maybe that their voice hasn't been heard as much by the Dean of Students office, or that at least they would want to see graduate students being reflected in the focus and activities and programming of a Dean of Students office. So I think that was important. A lot of attention to, being open to student voices. That doesn't mean you always agree with student voices, but having an open dialogue. I think those are some of the key things. So exactly who gets invited at what point, stay tuned for that. But definitely student involvement with the candidates who come to campus in person will be part of it. Absolutely.
Well, Dean McKnight, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to answer some of our questions. I always appreciate the time I have with you.
Sure, thank you. Always great talking to you. Take care.
Thanks, Lainey. Coming up next, Alex will be joining Bobby Serafin for your sports updates.
To Maddie. Congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow. I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money going to come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back. From the court to the rink to the track, a lot went down in BU athletics this week. Here to get into it with me now is our sports correspondent, Bobby Serafin. Good morning, Bobby.
Good morning, Alex. Glad to be here today.
So I've been hearing there's some buzz about the women's basketball team. Can you tell me what that's about?
I mean, let's just say the word lose isn't in the Terriers' vocabulary. The Terriers women's basketball team are in the middle of a historic season and are one win away from clinching the program's first regular season Patriot League title. On Wednesday night, the Terriers came from 15 down to defeat second-place Holy Cross 66-59. Senior guard Sydney Johnson came through time and time again, pacing all players with 17 points. Johnson also moved into 14th place all-time in program scoring history, passing 2008 graduate Cherry Raffo and pushing her career total to 1,150 points. BU has now strung together 14 straight wins, which is the second longest unbeaten run in their history. That's only bested by their 19-game win streak in the spring of 2009. With the win against Bucknell on Saturday, the Terriers would lock up the Patriot League title and take another step towards their first NCAA tournament berth since 2003. I mean, I was still on all fours at the time, so that really puts things into perspective. And now moving to the ice, after a thrilling win in the Beanpot consolation match against Harvard, Terrier spirits were dampened with news involving the longtime face of the program. Head coach Brian DeRocher, who has represented the university on the ice and behind the bench, announced his retirement from coaching on Wednesday. A member of BU Athletics for 36 years, DeRocher has spent the last 18 seasons with the women's hockey team, being with the program since its inauguration in 2004. The Massachusetts native has racked up 336 wins, which ranks him 10th all-time among women's college hockey coaches. But after all the trophies, all the memories, and all the accolades, the 1978 graduate will coach his final game this Saturday against the Northeastern Huskies at Matthews Arena.
What a career for Coach DeRocher. Yeah. While he's walking off the ice, though, I'm walking onto the launch pad. I'm checking out what going on with BU's track and field. I was wondering what was happening down there, so I decided to lace up my running shoes and find out.
On your mark.
I'm here at the David Henry Valentine Invitational at the Boston University Track and Tennis Center, which is home to what many consider to be one of the fastest indoor tracks in the world. Just ask University of Texas runner Creighton Carrozza. He holds the facility record for the 800-meter race and currently has the fastest time in the NCAA.
It feels like you're running on a trampoline.
This phenomenon is greater than just college. In 2013, Olympian Galen Rupp ran a 3-minute, 50.92-second mile on the track. Then 6 years later, Yomif Kiljolcha set the indoor mile record at 3 minutes, 47.01 seconds. 52 runners ran under the 4-minute mile mark at this year's Valentine's Invitational. They came from all over the world to run here at BU's track. Could this track be the key to becoming a star athlete? With all of the records set here and all the hype surrounding the track, I decided I had to try it out for myself. But first, I needed a baseline, so I came to BU's FitRec to run 400 meters on a standard indoor track. A feat which proved more difficult than I had expected. Though I started out smooth, the pain set in about 100 meters into my sprint. 1:35.55 is the time to beat. Let's see if we can do it at the world's fastest track. I'm here to test my speed on the same track where some of the greatest athletes of our generation set personal, league, and even world records. Since I was running on this storied track, I knew I had to start out fast. And by the end, I was even able to shave 12 seconds off my record. 1:23.38 was my time. Was it the track that made me faster? If so, how? I asked the head coach of BU's track team, Gabe Sanders.
It is a wood base, unlike a metal base. So with that, you've got not only plywood, but wood it's going to give you just a greater energy return. So there's a bouncy feel to it. That's how people describe it. It's like, man, this thing feels bouncy. It feels like a little mini trampoline.
Yes, technically this track made me a few seconds faster, but the surface you run on doesn't make the runner. Creighton broke the harsh reality to me that I won't be breaking world records anytime soon.
It definitely can help you, but it's not gonna make you better, if that makes sense.
It made me lose 12 seconds off my 400 time.
But that's because you expected it to.
For BUTV, I'm Alex Dowd.
Thanks, Alex, and thanks, Bobby. Up next, we'll be looking at the recently reopened Sunset Cantina and its new ownership.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
Welcome back. In 2022, Sunset Cantina on Commonwealth Avenue shut its doors due to staffing shortages and financial issues. Just a few months later, though, Sunset is back with a new menu and a new management. Chloe Adams was down the street to speak with the patrons and managers about all this and more.
Sunset Cantina recently opened their doors back up in December after recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic under new management and ownership. BU alum Katarina Chang is even on board now as a new co-owner.
It's been awesome. I mean, everybody's been super excited about having us open, and just seeing everybody's faces when they walk in the door and they're like, oh my God, you guys are back and open. It's awesome. It's a good feeling to have everybody in here. We want to promote that all are welcome. Everybody can feel safe while they're here, and everybody can have a good time while they're here. The vibe is fun. It is energetic. It is welcoming. And it's all around, I feel like, a place where people just want to be.
Customers can even enjoy some newer menu items.
The nachos, one of the plates, we actually had to change because we try to change them in a different way that they were used to be before here. And we had to remake them, rebuild them to make the people happy. So I'm pretty sure the nachos are gonna be like a really, really good item here. The nachos, fajitas, like pretty much all the food is really, really good here. And then the drinks, just go for margaritas. That's gonna be like the secure option.
If you ask these BU students what their favorite menu item is, they'll agree to one answer.
The nachos!
If you want a place where you guys can have fun, where you guys can have a family there, that you guys know that the team is gonna support you and it's gonna be there for you, just come to Sunset.
Sunset Cantina is open most days at 4 p.m., so if you ever find yourself in the West Campus area, why not give them a try? Reporting in Boston for BUTV 10, I'm Chloe Adams.
Thanks for that, Chloe. That's going to do it for us this week at Good Morning BU.
On behalf of all of us here at Studio West, thank you so much for watching. I'm Alex Dowd.
And I'm Sydney Toff. Stay safe and have a good weekend.